Good morning. It's Wednesday, November 22nd. It's the day before Thanksgiving. So we're going to be take it a little easy today and tomorrow and Friday. Probably going to make it a very early day today. I got some things to take care of before some travel today. Thursday's a market close. Friday's a half day. We'll probably just do chat Friday morning. I will be around. I will be checking the news, but I'm not going to be in my office. So probably not going to do the show. I'll just do it in chat Friday morning. So a lot to cover here. And I know we're going to get to NVIDIA earnings in a second. I just want to look at the macro because I see something interesting here with TLT. TLT pre-market up 0.5%. That's $91. All right, let's take a look at this chart. It's already over the 50 DMA. We have a 2050 bullish cross trying to form. You see what I see? This gap right there. You see that gap? What's the high of that gap? $91. What do we say it's at? It's at $91. Okay. Oh, earlier this morning it was above. It was in the gap, $91. So if it breaks 91, you could make a further move in TLT up into the low to mid 92s. I see there's some resistance there at 91.40. But this to me is looking like more upside for TLT is getting more likely at these technical levels, which means continued bullishness, especially for risk assets, RK and IWM. So before we get into the news, let's just look quickly. It is the first time I'm actually pulling up this chart in a long time. RK, let's look at these technicals. Wow, you see this double resistance right here. Hold on. All right, we're looking at that level right here, which is this candle, the top of this candle, which is 45.46. We're at 44.42 pre-market. So that's a big resistance area to look at. It could pull back there, but man, if it goes through 45.46, you can be talking about going to low 50s in the near term on RK. Okay. IWM, let's look at this. First time I'm looking at this with you. Oh, this is chop fest. Not as clear as RK. So RK, better position probably than microcaps, or at least I just can't read this. But can we chop all the way back to 197? I guess so. And then that could end up being strong resistance again. And QQQ, SPY, they're all, did they already hit all-time highs? If not, they're close to it. All right. We're close to all-time highs on QQQ and SPY, cup and handles. You see that. So very good, especially if you've been sitting in the magnificent 7 and those mega caps, you've been doing pretty well. But for those of us in riskier stocks, it's only just starting to pick up recently. So RK, you can see the weekly, that's a monthly chart. We're still, big picture, down in the gutter. And people are still down big if they're growth investors, but things starting to look a little bit brighter. There was some, hold on. I have some comments. Does this mean my mic's not working? Oh, good morning. Good morning, Vince. Okay, great. There was some economic data out this morning. I think it was unemployment claims, jobless claims are lower than expected. I don't know. Like you had an initial drop when that came out here at 8 o'clock, I guess it was. But moving back up, market doesn't care. We're in rally mode. Okay, this is a Santa Claus rally, whatever you want to call it. But I do want to, just from my own experience, I always remember the period from literally Black Friday. I remember like 2 big crashes on Black Friday, which is odd. You think nothing's going on. It's a half day and volume's light. But between Black Friday and honestly, like all of January, the market can be extremely volatile. I've seen many, many flash crashes between Black Friday and the first month of January. Also, you got to keep in mind, we're getting to tax loss selling season. So if you're especially in a microcap or any stock that's down big for the year, it's going to get worse, especially between Black Friday and Christmas Eve. Okay. And usually those bottom right around Christmas Eve is when those bottom. So if you're looking for bargains and values on smaller companies, microcaps, even growth stocks have been beat up this year, the time to pick them up is going to be around Christmas Eve. And then potentially we have the January effect, which is usually a good month for stocks that were decimated in the previous year, especially microcaps. So we're going into this period where there's a lot of volatility and a lot of things also that are kind of predictable. That dynamic I just talked about doesn't happen every single year, but man, I think it happens like 80-90% of the time, just in the 20 years I've been doing this. Okay. So let's go into specifics. So actually, let me move Deere instead of, because there were no real ERs except, NVIDIA and Deere. So I just want to move Deere to our top picks list so we can discuss it there. Okay, done. So now we can go to our top picks list. And let me just move it down a little bit to here. And now we can talk about earnings. So NVIDIA earnings were great. And it kind of right now, it's reminding me of what SMSI did. Here we go. NVIDIA Q4 revenue. So I'm skipping past Q4 revenue, 20 billion versus 16 billion estimate. Okay. EPS 402 beat 63. So it was massive beats, right? Now, in after hours last night, there was a dip. Now it's like clawed back. And that dip was because of some commentary in China that China is going to be down, but other parts of the business is more than making up for China being down. So, SMCI, remember last quarter, let's see if we can see it here. Do we have our earnings? It was not last one, it was this one. All right. 2 quarters ago, SMCI had a great earnings report, ended up being a buying opportunity. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking last quarter. This is what it was. See that candle? All right. SMCI, great earnings. The next day went to like 226 and then boom. So I don't know exactly how it's going to play out with NVIDIA, but I will tell you this. Let's see. Do I have the price target increases here? Here we go. NVIDIA, 650, 700, 674, 675, 650, 700. These are all the new price targets. And I put one in the app also in our VIP chat room. This was from Rosenblatt. Increases to 1,100. They're the street high on this. Okay. So, you know, when you get a beat, usually a stock goes up. So, but it could be volatile. You could be with an SMCI situation where it goes down and then goes up. I really don't know what's going to happen in the first hour or two. Okay. But I like this for the long term. I will tell you, though, I added SMCI last night pre-market, and then it's already working better than NVIDIA. I have both, but I like SMCI. In fact, let me share my screen with you to let's do some fundamental analysis right now. Let's see if this is going to work. There we go. Okay. All right. So the PE, look at this. The trailing PE of SMCI is 27, and the forward PE is 17. Okay. Now NVIDIA, that's not on the screen now. I'll get to the screen in a second. NVIDIA, the trailing PE is 120, forward PE 45. So NVIDIA much more expensive. Now you might say, well, what about the growth rates? Right? Guess what? They're both growing crazy. So what you do to correct with that, show a PEG ratio. Okay, it's a PE divided by the growth rate. And you have NVIDIA up at 3.3. You have SMCI down at 0.81. So the way I looked at this last night, I already have some NVIDIA, but I already told you yesterday morning, I'm like, if NVIDIA has good earnings, I think SMCI is going to break out of its resistance levels. And maybe it's gearing up to do that today. All right, we're already up 2%, up at 296. 298 was a previous resistance level, which it broke earlier, yet 2 days ago. So I just feel like I get the same growth profile in terms of earnings. In fact, let me go back to the screen. You can actually see it here too. Look at the EPS and you can do the growth rate. And now we can compare the growth rates of, here we go, the EPS growth rates of SMCI. Now it depends which time frame you're looking at. If I guess the last quarter, maybe I don't know. Hold on, I don't know. If you go 3 years, this is one I was looking at earlier. Let me look at 5 years, 3 years, 5 years, like longer term perspective. I guess there's some quarterly differences, but you look at the growth rate, EPS growth rate. So you're getting that same growth rate here with SMCI, roughly 600% versus not, it's similar. You're looking at the 3 year time frame, 304, and that's reflected in that PEG ratio, right? So this PEG ratio is showing that you're getting this much lower PE for the same exposure to AI and the same or similar growth rates. So, okay, that's how I'm playing it. All right. I'm not actively trading right now. I'm managing a longer term account right now. We'll get back to the trading soon, hopefully. Just making some adjustments to that account in terms of how that's managed. I'm not an active trader, so I work with someone to do active trading. In terms of my retirement account that I manage, I did rotate some. I've been selling gold. That's my cash. So I've been rotating gold into different opportunities that I see. So last night I sold some more gold and I bought SMCI at 291 and it's already 295. So, okay, that's what I'm looking at here. I'm looking for SMCI in a swing time frame to re-challenge 315 to 317. Might even happen today. Might happen in a few days. Might happen in a few weeks. I got patience since this is in a longer term account. Okay, and NVIDIA, it's going right. It's going to go to all-time highs. I don't know. Increases a little richer in valuation, but it's the market leader, and it's going to get that. It's always going to have a higher ratio than SMCI just because it's a larger market cap and it's seen as a leader. All right, now let's move into some other stocks which could do well today. Now, I just want to note, again, going back to this macro view, for today, the market looks pretty bullish because what I'm seeing in TLT, RK, and IWM, all right? So that already makes it a good day for your hot stocks like or popular stocks like Tesla, Microsoft, okay? But Tesla and Microsoft seem to have some catalysts. Okay, Tesla, a couple days ago, we told you about this. Maybe it was yesterday morning. There's some major expansion into India in terms of the production. But also New Jersey passed a law yesterday saying like no more gas vehicles by like 2035. All right. And there's other states that have done that. But, as that accelerates and more states do that, maybe that's the reason. Combination of those two catalysts, Tesla's been doing well. It's above the 50 DMA here, 238.76. So I think that's a nice support level, 238.76. What is this gap? It keeps playing with this gap. Hold on. This earnings gap, the bottom is 242.08. It keeps playing with this level. But Tesla, I like it at those two support levels. So I'll just give you 242 and where did my 238 come from? Oh, yeah, the 50 DMA. So that 50 DMA and that gap there are two levels. Maybe we could hold there and run. And again, these are stocks that could do well today. But personally, I'm just swing holding right now rather than actively trading. Okay. Microsoft. I don't know to what extent. Look, apparently, what's his name? Altman, the guy they fired, is back at OpenAI. I think this possibly could outperform today because look at the last few days, been a lot of chop, okay? And this is because of that drama. Now that drama has been reversed, so you can say, okay, let's pretend it never happened. Would Microsoft have been flat the last few days? Let's take a look at QQQ. I want to look at QQQ the last few days and see how that's done. Okay, so QQQ, let's go to our 5-day chart. And no, it's been up sharply. This is why I think there might be an opportunity in Microsoft today as a catch-up trade to say, okay, that issue with Sam Altman's behind us, has been rehired. So now let's do some catch-up. And, Microsoft would have been up, would have had a chart more similar to this if that drama never happened. That's why I have Microsoft on the watch list for today. Okay. All right, that's Microsoft. So we got NVIDIA, SMCI, Tesla, Microsoft. As far as ordering these, again, because of my bias towards the fundamentals, I'm putting SMCI above NVIDIA. No need to have both. Okay, so we're watching NVIDIA. It'll be down there. It's a good long-term stock. But as far as today goes, for you traders out there, I'm going to put SMCI ahead of it. So SMCI, Tesla, Microsoft. Now, what else do we have on our radar? Couple ideas for you. If you want to try a short idea, Deere here is down 4.71% on earnings, bouncing back a little bit. Does make this short idea a little bit scary, but just pointing out to you the numbers. Let me see. I posted these numbers here. Let me see here. What was it? Pretty sure I posted it. Did I not post it? Deere misses on next year guide by 15%. Okay. So you see this so often that the percentage miss or the percentage beat on the EPS for the following period ends up not matching exactly, but close. I like to triangulate it with the technical. So actually, let's do that. So let's take yesterday's close of 382, okay, and 382 times 0.855 is a 14.5% miss. That takes you to 326. Let's see if there's anything near 326 on Deere. All right. So we got it's the weekly moving averages, the daily moving averages. Wow, where are we now? We're at 363, which is already below all the key daily moving averages. I think you could be testing 358.80 at the very least. Okay. And then 343 below that. But to get anything close to that what did we just calculate? Sorry, 326. To get anything close to that 326, you got to be talking that 200 weekly moving average at 322. And that's a double support too. You see these candles here. Could this go all the way down to 322 today? Or at least at 344? Maybe with that big miss. But with these other positive catalysts, I'm not sure that I'd want to mess with a negative catalyst, especially with the market being bullish this morning and TLT being up pre-market. So I'm not sure I'd want to do that, but I'm throwing it up there because it happens so often. It really happens so often when you just do that little calculation on the guide, that the stock price tends to quickly gravitate towards that. It's 9:19. A couple other things I want to bring up. We talked about the EV New Jersey law that was passed. And I'm thinking, at what point are we going to finally see a rebound in onsemi and air? Okay, this is the lower silicon carbide demand related to. It's interesting because Tesla's coming back. Everything's coming back on lower rates, right? Lower rate expectations. Market's looking forward, but onsemi still has not recovered. Why is that lower silicon carbide demand? Is because of the interest rates been higher, right? Been harder for people to buy high ticket price items. So why haven't we seen onsemi do its rebound? So basically, it's a matter of when. I look at it as it's due. When is it going to be due? All right, at some point, it's going to be due. So is it that news yesterday from New Jersey that triggers it? Is it a technical breakout that triggers it? This is something I'm going to keep on high alert, high watch. You really got to break this gap here, 73.59 to make a larger move towards 83 on onsemi. I don't own onsemi. I own air. Okay. So that's something I'll be looking at. Maybe. Is it something today? I'm going to keep an eye on it because we have a nice pre-market move in on and air. Plus, we have those catalysts I talked about for Tesla. So I'm keeping this up on the top part of my screen above the fold so I can monitor that because if it breaks out, I might add more air. All right. I'm still in too much gold, probably. I don't know if I'm in too much gold, to be honest with you. I'm down to like 10%. I was like 30% after the Israel war broke out. That faked me out a little bit, but whatever. Okay. Had to do what I had to do. So now I got some cash / gold to roll into other things. So when I see air breaking out, maybe I'll start deploying more gold into that. By the way, Israel war ceasefire was agreed to. So something to keep an eye on in terms of, hey, are any of these stocks going to overcorrect in the coming days? Lockheed, especially these defense stocks, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, gun stocks. I'm going to keep an eye on all these during this ceasefire period because it's just a sneaky, just a suspicion that the ceasefire is not going to hold. So you might end up getting bargains in this whole space in the next 1 to 3 weeks, if it even lasts. If it even lasts that long, or if it even lasts a couple days, we'll see. Okay. So we'll keep that in mind. Man, these Argentina stocks, I'm kicking myself because I really thought I should have bought Melly the other day. I didn't pull the trigger. I don't know why. And it keeps on doing well. This is the biggest cap stock with Latin America exposure, $75 billion. All right. Breaking out, looking beautiful. I'm not in it, but I did finally get into YPF. All right. Let's go to the Argentina list for a second. This is that ETF, ARGT. Most of these Argentina stocks, they held their gains, consolidating inside candles, really bullish looks on a lot of these. YPF, in fact, it's 922. Do we have time? Let me see if I could. Let's do a little more fundamental research on YPF together. All right. There we go. All right. YPF. It was up 40% on day one, inside candle yesterday. This potentially could do a lot more. Let me just show you some interesting things I found. Shares outstanding on YPF, no dilution. Okay. Why is that important? Because when I look at the price, so when I look at the price, I know this has nothing to do. I can compare price to price, right? I can look at this chart and it's an honest picture of how the value of the company has changed over time. Okay. So why is that important? Because now I'm going to look at like revenue. Okay. For example, and I see revenue has exploded, right? Yet price has gone down. Okay. So you're starting to get clues here. Now let's look at EPS. EPS, I'm not as interested in because I don't know to what extent the socialist regime in Argentina has been suppressing their EPS with windfall profit taxes, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm more interested in looking at this picture, comparing revenue to price, or you could do enterprise value to revenue. You could do this to get an idea of, wow, this stock's pretty cheap now. Probably there's been some economic policies in place in Argentina that's limiting their profit. So there could potentially be a lot more room on for YPF to the upside. Okay, so that's it. So now with that background, let's take a look at the YPF chart, and you can see here. You can see that inside candle right there. Hold on. There we go. You see that inside candle right there. And it's not that alone. It's when I look at, all these Argentina stocks. Let's check this one out. ARGT, barely an inside candle, but it is an inside candle yesterday. So Man, what happened? There we go. Come on. There it is. All right. There's your inside candle. Not as beautiful. These were consolidating nicely after 25 to 40% gains. Oh, Pam did not. Pam did not have an inside candle, but most of these others, even TGS, you saw Melly we're talking about, keeps on going up. B-bar, not as nice. Loma barely had an inside candle, but TEO, look at that. TEO keeps on accelerating. I would say for the most part, this is telling me that that was fundamentally important news on day one. It wasn't like a pump and dump or people had the wrong idea. There's consolidation here. There's follow through. For the most part, some of these not as strong like EGAL, but for the most part, we're seeing strength here. And combined with that chart I showed you in YPF, so I did take a position in YPF. Man, I should have done Melly on day one, but now I have a small amount of YPF. And if you look along here, let's just go look at what potentially it could do. 1619. I think that was a target I gave you in the first day, potential target. So it's at 1450 now. So 1619 and then 1864 swing time frame period. But this is very speculative because I'm just speculating on policy that I have no idea about, right? What kind of taxes were in place that might be repealed? How do you quantify that? I just don't know. I'm speculating and I'm assuming that's why it's a small position for me. All right. And let's take a look. We're also going to keep our eye on CRISPR. There was some microcap news on SPRC. I'm not going to mess with this. Let's just quickly look at this. They're doing a reverse merger. It's a biotech company. They're turning into some car company and might spin off the biotech portion or do some sort of dividend. I think it's not a cash dividend. I think they're talking about a stock dividend. So yeah, the reverse merger with a Israeli auto. This is an Israeli biotech company. So market likes it up 20%, but why waste our time with such risk and nonsense, in my opinion? But anyway, take a look at it. If you like that kind of stuff, there's definitely going to be a lot of volatility there, and it could be tradable. So it's 9:26 a.m. If there's anything you want me to look at, Tesla 250, the big level of interest from Vince. 20. Oh, that's the weekly. Let me see if I can see that more clearly on the daily. 250. Yeah. I don't know. I don't see the 250 that clearly. I'm more interested in holding that 50 DMA and maybe breaking out of this 20-week moving average on Tesla. But certainly, look at that, top of the list. Let's just try to reorder these now that we went through everything. So SMCI, I do like that as the number one pick. Then you can put NVIDIA up there if you want, but I just, look at it. It's been constantly overperforming since last night. So why even bother? Because let's say if NVIDIA goes up 5%, SMCI is for sure going to be up. So there's really no reason to even, I think, unless you just prefer something that's more liquid in terms of NVIDIA, maybe the options are going to be more liquid or whatever. Okay, so play NVIDIA. But from a percentage point of view, on the common stock, if I'm looking at what's going to do better today, I'm sticking with SMCI, and I don't feel a need to duplicate it here. All right, as far as our top picks. All right, okay. So we got SMCI, Tesla, Microsoft. We gave you the thesis on that. Let's see what the 380. So 380 is that recent high, and is that a 52-week high? Probably all-time high. 380. So that's a level to look at. I would not be surprised to see Microsoft challenge 380 and make a move towards 390 in the near term. So Microsoft at the top of our watch list also. And then we'll see on Deere. It's hard for me to have conviction and to play these things on. I'm also just an optimist. It's hard for me to be a pessimist and short things and be a cynic. But it just happens so often. Let's see if Deere is going to be down closer to 10 to 14% today, down 5% now. Let's see what happens. I didn't read the full press release. I'm just basing this on the guide, numerical guide. So do your homework. Okay, it's better to read also. You want to understand the qualitative behind the quantitative so you can make your own kind of conclusion on how important, how seriously will the market weigh that quantitative, right? That could be, you know, ameliorated by comments, right? Or it could be enhanced by comments, or it can be validated by comments, right? So if you go and read that press release, you can get a better idea of, oh my gosh, this thing's definitely going down. Look, it's trending down right into the open. I'm going to move this up, just a hunch. All right, SMCI, here we go. And market's open. So, all right, let's see what we got here. So Deere short in the top four here. Then we have Tesla, Microsoft, and SMCI. Should I take a chance here? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to move Deere here, and we're just going to monitor that a little closer. All right. So long SMCI, short Deere, long Tesla, long Microsoft. Those are the ideas here at the open. Looking at on for possible breakout at some point. Looking for YPF to break out of that yesterday's inside candle. Forgot to mention CRISPR. Forgot to look at CRISPR. Wow, what's going on with CRISPR? All right. So CRISPR, look, we got that PDUFA date of December 8th. So I think this is definitely going to hold its own and trend up until like December 7th. All right. So I'm not in a hurry to do anything with that. I got a big position in CRISPR, including options, and I'll be selling some CRISPR on, as we approach December 7th. Look at this outperformance still between NVIDIA and SMCI. That's looking good. You're holding at about almost 6%. Tesla looks like it's perking up here. What's the high of the day? 244. We're at 243. So far, our picks are looking okay. Don't need to make any major changes. Might have to move CRISPR up. Bitcoin was a disappointment the last couple of days. I really thought it was going to break out at 38,000 quicker than this. Thanksgiving tends to do well, by the way. Thanksgiving weekend, it's happened on 2 or 3 occasions. So let's see if Bitcoin can break out of that level over the weekend. On and air. Okay, let's move into on here. Let's move into this. No, 5-day chart. Nothing to write home about yet. I think Deere is trending down towards the low of day here. 5.83%. It's the low of the day. 359.09. We're at 360.67. Okay. Microsoft is at the... All right, so that thesis is playing out, isn't it? 380, that's that key level. Okay, you break 380, this can explode. We got to move Microsoft, keep a closer eye on this. 380, keep that number in mind. Okay, I'm going to put Microsoft ahead of Deere. More interesting to me. All right, so 380, key level, look at it, Microsoft. And look at this continued overperformance of SMCI over NVIDIA. About 2% differential. Down 0.5% in NVIDIA. Up almost 2% in SMCI. Look for 380 on Microsoft. Deere still in the top 5 there. Down about 6%. Okay. Time to scroll down a little bit more. Here we go. SMCI, baby. Wow, I love this call. This is why I do what I do. I just love this. Let's see if this works out. These insights you're not going to get from technical traders. You got to combine fundamentals and sentiment to be able to spot opportunities like this. If this continues throughout the day, honestly, I'll be pretty proud of myself. Let's see. So SMCI 296, NVIDIA down a touch. All right. Let's scroll down a little bit more. Melly really taken off. Wow. Shoot. I'm kicking myself, man. Why didn't I add Melly to my retirement account? Ay. YPF not doing it for me. Should have gone Melly. Microsoft breaking 379 on the way to 380. Wow, this could be an explosive breakout today on Microsoft. Look at that. Looks like that thesis was correct. Unless QQQ's up 1.6%, I doubt it. Well, it's up 1%. Look at that. So a lot of it does have to do with QQQ, but it is overperforming, catching up as people put that open AI drama behind them. Microsoft heading to 380, 379.44. Wow. Top two picks here of the day doing well. Working out. NVIDIA turns green. Awesome. NVIDIA turning green. That's good news also for SMCI. Microsoft approaching 380. Wow, that's 370? 52-week high exactly. Is it 380 to the penny? I don't know where I find 52-week high. 379.79. Why did I see 380 on the chart? That maybe have been a pre-market print. 379.79 actually, not even 380. 379.79 is your number. Wait, that was the small. Now I'm confused. Did it just hit it all time? No, this 380 must have been pre-market. That's why. I guess we did hit an all-time high. I guess we did that already. I think so. We might already be in breakout territory here. But just looking at the chart, it does. You know what? I'm going to stick with that 380. Let's respect the pre-market number. All right, let's say 380 for that bona fide breakout there. All right, On and Air. Look at Air jumping up 3.5%. Is On doing anything with any breakout levels it's playing with here? It's a big spike. It is a big spike. But, man, I just don't see a clear picture on the technicals. Maybe I just got to look at Air independently right here. So Air up 3. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's breaking over the 20 DMA. Is that the DMA? It is the DMA. Ooh, I might add more Air to my retirement account over here. I might do that here. SMCI up 2.7%. Dear, here we go. Look at that. Boom. Oh, man, I wish I could. I wish someone was there to capitalize on this for me. Look at that. Dear. Oh, damn. Hope someone's making money off this. I'm just talking. Air up 4%. All right, let me see if I can do some rotations in my retirement account and add more Air. All right. Over the 20 DMA. On is accelerating. Melly exploding. Oh, why did I not buy Melly? What is wrong with me? All right, let's see how much gold I have available to sell. Running low on gold. Running low on gold. You know what, though? I'm up nice on CRISPR, and I probably have too much. So I'm going to sell a little bit of CRISPR. I got way too much CRISPR. Okay. So let's do this. I'm going to sell that. And then we're going to increase my Air because I'm kind of light on it. Done. All right. Look at SMCI over $300. Nice. Star of the day? Where's NVIDIA at? See? NVIDIA's flat. What'd I tell you guys? I love what I do, guys. Someone's got to get rich off of me. All right. SMCI. All right. YPF making a sharp move. YPF trying to do red to green. Look at that. Honestly, I would like to have more YPF because I don't have a lot. All right, I'll just buy I just have like very little, man. Just a little bit of play money here on YPF. Go. All right, just bought a little tiny more YPF. Nvidia's down, guys. Nvidia's down. How do you like that? Who's talking about SMCI today? All the social media, X, all the chat rooms. Everyone's all over Nvidia trying to make money trading this Nvidia. Meanwhile, SMCI is going straight up near the high of the day, up 3 to 4%. It's 9:40 a.m. On up 1.7%. Let's see this. All right, On is also trying to battle that 20 DMA, but it was a clearer picture on air. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, juicy. Man, how much air do I have now? I want to get more. Let me see, make sure I have enough. Oh, really? Hold on. I think I'm too light on air. 1 second, even with that purchase I made. Oh, okay, no more. Let's see. Where would we take from? Wow, I got too much Celsius, man. It's up today, though. Gold. Wow. CRISPR. I probably still have too much CRISPR. CRISPR's moving. All right. CRISPR's moving up 4%. And I'm big on CRISPR. Should I sell a little more CRISPR for a little more air? I think I might do that. Just a little more. Let's just do a little more. All right. Not because CRISPR is not good, but just because I have so much more CRISPR than air. And air is pretty cheap right now. So let's see. We're going to sell a little more CRISPR. Where do we do that at? Okay, it's at 70.58. All right, and we're going to rotate that into a little more air. And I still have much more CRISPR than I do air. All right, so let's do that rotation on this breakout here today. Boom, done. All right, so happily increasing my position in air, up 4.7% now. How's my SMCI position? Let's see, SMCI. A little more SMCI than air too. Okay. So SMCI number 1. Should I be moving air? I do. Look at On. I should be doing that. Why didn't I do that? I forgot that I'm supposed to be reordering stuff. All right. So let's move air up here. And let's move CRISPR closer to the top. Keep an eye on it. It's looking good. Oh, man. Melly, which makes me go crazy. Look at ANF. New all-time highs, or new 52-week high in ANF. Okay. Oh, we just got an alert on air. Up 5%. Beautiful. All right. So now let's change this around. We're saying SMCI. I'm going to put air here as number 2. Look at Microsoft. Oops. Melly and CRISPR. Let's see how this looks now. God, I got to wonder if this major breakout of the 20, and now you got, okay, you have 2736 followed by 2836 on air. All right, those, do I want to move air ahead of SMCI? No, I'm not going to do that. They're both whatever, 1, 2, they're good. Man, I am so upset I didn't get Melly the other day. What's wrong with me, man? Ay. All right, let's move up YPF a little more so I can monitor that. Oops, not there. There we go. YPF and Melly. Really, Melly has much better strength. I'm just watching YPF for my own. All right, just put it down here then. All right, there we go. SMCI Air 20 DMA breakout, EV news yesterday. That's how I do it. I can't look at only technicals. I gotta associate it with something that's happening. So we had good EV news yesterday out of New Jersey. That's an excuse. And that could actually be how it really works, by the way, right? People act on information. So it could be that there's bigger money out there saying, you know what? Here's a trigger. Here's a catalyst. I've been watching. Look at Enphase over 100. So Enphase finally broke that 100 level we're looking at. Wow. So Enphase, let's the top here. Okay, broke that. So 50 DMA, 104.83 is in play on Enphase right now. 104.83. We covered the news yesterday, insider buy and a price target increase. So Enphase, we got to move this up. Looks like could be a major breakout in Enphase, but we're going to want to look at TAN. I would love to see this differentiating itself from TAN rather than just following TAN. Similar charts, but yeah, they're both heading to that 50 DMA. All right, so that's closer to 105 on Enphase. Microsoft making a move towards 380. Okay, now we got Enphase in the mix up here, like that. Wow, NVIDIA is down 2%, SMCI is up 2.5%. All right, where do you get that? Where do you get that, folks? Where do you get that? Guys, make sure to go to twitter.com/storytrading because I want to keep this show going, and I can only keep it going if we get more members, so more subscribers. So right now, go to twitter.com/storytrading, check out our latest tweet, and retweet that. Put a comment in there, or like, all right? Help our community grow so we can keep this going. Look at Enphase. All right, I don't see any resistance now. 103.98. I see nothing. 103.98 is your target on Enphase right now. That could happen very soon. 103.98. All right. So, wondering if I should move that up. That's a pretty significant break. So I'm going to move Enphase up, even ahead of Air. I'm seeing NVIDIA down 2%. It's making me worried about having SMCI the number one. It's already up 2.5%, already outperforming NVIDIA. If it keeps going down, it can put pressure on SMCI. On the other hand, if NVIDIA finds a bottom and turns around, then this relative strength you're seeing in SMCI is really going to cause this to explode. So, for example, if NVIDIA turns around and makes it towards like 505 again, something like that, then you can really see SMCI making a move to 315. Let's just look at this a little closer here to see if we can find a bottom on, let's see. So, what am I going to do? I got to go to, can I do a 30-minute chart? Let's see if I could do 30 minutes and okay, here we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so this is a key level down here, 483-ish. On NVIDIA. So 483 needs to hold. We're at 488 now. I gotta say, I'm thinking of downgrading SMCI from the top position. Count your lucky stars, right? In a way, like pocket those profits. Wow. I got in it between 290 and 292 last night, but a long-term account. I'm not trading it. But and then maybe kind of focus on some of these other ones like Enphase. I'm not sure though. Just thinking about it because again, if you see NVIDIA now bought it, this is crazy relative strength that we're seeing between SMCI and NVIDIA. So if NVIDIA turns around, I'm telling you, SMCI is going to 305 to 315 today. If NVIDIA goes green, I think you're going to see, if NVIDIA goes green, you're going to see SMCI above 305. I think that 305 was yesterday's resistance. Let's take a look. 306. At this point, If NVIDIA goes green, I think you can see SMCI making a $10 move from here. So better percentage moves. It's been like that since last night, and I think it's going to continue being like that. This is a better way to play it right now. SMCI. Okay. Now let's take a peek at Celsius. A little spike. Nothing to write home about. Got to break that 20 DMA. AMAT, Applied Materials, looking good. 155, I believe, was my next target. I gave you guys 152 to 155. That was a swing range. That's still looking good. I think we'll be getting a 155 soon enough on AMAT. Let's move that up. Enphase over 100. Okay, it's 9:50. I'm liking this list for the next rest of the day here. Tesla's at 238. You know, one of the mistakes I made, like yesterday, on ANF, between 9, it was like our top pick in pre-market between 9 and 9:30, if you recall, on the strength of the fundamentals. And then when we watched the price action between 9:30 and 10, I just totally forgot about it. It just fell off my radar because it was red and I was looking for relative strength. So I did notify everybody at 10:30 a.m. in the chat room that we're at 65.64. That was a perfect notification. It bottomed at 65.60. But I tend to do this sometimes where I'll forget for breakout levels. So I say that story because the Tesla, I've completely ignored it this morning as we're looking at the relative strength over here. And maybe we should not completely forget about it. Let's zoom in and see where the support level might be, right? So the support level is there at 238. We did talk about that this morning, that level, right? 238.10. What's the low of the day? Low of day is 237.36. So 238.10 at that 50 DMA, definitely a support level. So we're at 238.21, 238.18. But, you know, I don't know. It's not like ANF yesterday, which had a very strong catalyst. Tesla, the catalysts are a little more vague, let's say. Look at NVIDIA heading towards that 482, 483 support. See, that's another one, actually. But again, I think we have it covered with SMCI. But let's move NVIDIA up. Let's move NVIDIA up. If we get to that 482, 483, that could be... Oh, see, SMCI. Wow, look at that. My instinct was right a few minutes ago to say, let's move SMCI out and focus on maybe an Enphase or something. But now we got to watch 482 to 483 support level on NVIDIA. Maybe that's going to be a big buying opportunity. And I think if you look at it definitely from a long-term perspective, it is, right? I don't know about today, but if we get to that 482, let's zoom in. Where exactly is that support level? Where we saw it here. Here it is. Okay. Oops. Okay. 482.76, right? 482.76. Man, we're almost there. 482.76 doesn't mean it can't go below it. Here, it's a pennies below it, but the risk reward's better at 482.76 than it was this morning. I would take a chance here on NVIDIA. I would right here, 482.76. I'd take a chance on it right here. You got to have a stop loss in place in case it goes too low below this. First time of the day, I'm saying NVIDIA might be interesting. All right, I'm calling it right here at 9:53 a.m. 482.76. All right, boom. I wish I could be trading right now. If I was, I'd probably pick up some calls. You'd have to have a stop loss here in case it fails. 482.76. Let's go into the daily charts. We're already at 481.67. Wait, what's the top of this candle? Hold on. Top of this candle is 476.09. What about the top of this one? 482. This is also big support at 476. 476 to 482. That range, if you could, in fact, I'm just thinking about it. I'm thinking about adding a little more to my retirement account right here. Let me see how much NVIDIA I have. Oh, I don't have a lot of NVIDIA. I have twice as much SMCI as NVIDIA. 42.70 or 43. What can I... Oh, man, what can I rotate? I don't want to sell more gold. I've sold so much, right? What can I sell to buy a little more NVIDIA right here at 482? I think I'd be interested in that. What can I sell? I don't know. I don't know. TGB has not been performing well. Oh, look at that bounce. All right. Okay. I'm going to sell just a little bit of TGB. All right. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell actually half of it. Sell half my TGB right there. And we're going to add more NVIDIA. Right here for the long-term hold. All right. Come on. Right here. Now, keep in mind, it could go lower, right? 20 DMA, 460.86. But I like this 476 candle too. But all of these look interesting. I wouldn't be scared. If I'm a long-term holder, it goes to 476, won't be scared. It goes to 460, won't be scared, okay? So if it goes below that, maybe I'd be scared. All right, but right now, 482.76. Let's see if that can hold and make a good day for us. Air, I guess I get snookered into buying more air above the 20 DMA. That's okay. Big picture, look how cheap I'm buying air compared to where it was. I'm okay with this because I was very light on air. I missed. So I'm okay adding here. 482.76 was our entry call on NVIDIA. Oh, wow. SMCI back to down 3%. It's, schnitz, my whole... I thought I was a smart ass this morning. Shit. Anyway, we picked up NVIDIA at 482.76, so let's see. All right. This is a game of approximation. All right, that's what it is. All right, so AMAT. Oh, AMAT went to 154 this morning? Wow. Melly's so freaking strong. Jeez. Good Argentina. ARG. Look at this. Look at all the green in Argentina. YPF. All right. Okay. All right, YPF. You got to turn it around. It's just that it was up the biggest on day one. That's the problem. It was up 40%. All that other stuff was up 20, 25%. That's the challenge with YPF owning it here. But Argentina's looking good. 1473. I'm gonna move YPF higher. Just looking at all that green on that Argentina list makes me think this is gonna catch up. Move it up. Oh wow, NVIDIA. Damn, I wish I was trading call options. Look at that. Up $3 from that bottom call of 482.76. All right, with that, we're going to lock it in with these new top focus picks. I'm going to put it in the chat room, and we'll see you guys in chat, but not on the show until Monday. Take care.